What's up, everybody? This is Chris, otherwise known as Music City Driver. I just wanted to take a quick minute. One of the people who actually used one of my promo codes for Lyft actually suggested that I should do a video on pickups and drop-offs at the airport, Broadway, etc., places like that. So, as you can see in the background, this is a subject that is kind of really kind of a pet peeve of mine. Basically, Lyft just sent this out telling us the locations for Broadway and Bridgestone Arena. Now, if you look carefully at the key on this map, the pink areas are the Broadway pickup and drop-offs, and the purple areas are Bridgestone pickup and drop-offs. So as you can see, Bridgestone Arena, right in front of the arena on Broadway, between 5th and 6th, is where they have the meters with the red bags on them, the no parking. You can drop off there. That has been like that for a while. You can also drop off on the corner, not really corner, but at Demunbrian, between 4th and 5th, there is a area on the right side if you're heading towards Bridgestone that you can drop off. You can also drop off on either side of Demunbrian not Demunbrian, sorry, 5th, in between Demunbrian and Korean Veterans Boulevard right there. And you can drop off in the little cutout, which is directly across from the Bridgestone Arena on Demunbrian in front of the Music City Center. There's like a little cutout area that you can pick up and drop off there. And apparently you can also pick up and drop off over here behind Hume Fogg High School on 7th. So that's another place to drop off. Now, as far as Broadway is concerned, something interesting, okay? So, those of you who've been driving in Nashville for a while, and I'm actually going to pull over here in a second because I just wanted to talk about this for a little bit more, and I'm kind of in a little bit of traffic, and I just wanted to get out of it. So I'm pulled over up beside the Beeman Motors, and of course somebody's right behind me, of course. But I'll turn down Solomon Grundy. Just kidding. But so 4th Avenue, right around the corner from Merchants. So if you look at this pink deal, right, that is just past the corner of 4th and Broadway, going south on 4th Avenue. And I got a ticket there last week, which is the freaking craziest thing. So I've been driving in Nashville. I've been driving in Nashville for a really long time. Like, I've lived here for a total of 15 years. But I've been driving rideshare here in Nashville for a year and 3 months, roughly. As long as I have been driving, at least in the last year or two, not year or two, but at least in the last year, I have picked up and dropped off from that area countless times. And in fact, I was actually directed to that area before by a police officer to drop off on that area. Last Friday night, I pulled up exactly where that area is. So if you guys are familiar, on that corner there, the corner of Broadway and 4th is Merchants. Across the street on the other side is Honky Tonk Central, and that's where the taxi stand is, directly across from the pink strip there. Right there in that pink strip is actually in between. Like, the next place you come to is actually Swinging Doors Saloon, which is on 4th. And like I said, it does say no parking there, but it does not say anything about no unloading, no loading, no stopping, etc., etc. And in fact, earlier tonight, I was driving and saw somebody else getting a ticket right there at that same spot where Lyft just sent this out to us. I have it printed out here just in case I get pulled over, so I can show it to them. And I have a ticket, which I'm going to write you have to write some kind of a letter or something if you want to do not guilty, so that you can go to have a court date. And I am going to that court date because it's just not right that Metro changes its freaking mind every 5 seconds, and taxi cabs have free reign and don't. I mean, yeah, of course, the taxi companies pay the city for the right to have the taxi stand, etc., etc. But it's just not right just because they're a dying industry and they're mad about it. They hate Uber and Lyft drivers. They really do despise us. it's not fair for them to be able to just influence policy. I guess they probably have lobbyists, taxi lobbyists in Nashville that probably help with these types of ordinances and codes or whatever. But I just find it despicable. So anyway, so the other areas, apparently, I guess we're not able to drop off anymore between 5th and 4th on Broadway. Actually, between 5th and 3rd, sorry. So 5th and 3rd, it's a bank, isn't it? Anyway, so between 5th and 3rd, apparently, those areas are not able to be dropped off. You can't drop off there. Looks like the only places that Lyft and Uber, I'm assuming, can drop off people on Broadway is between 1st, which on the north side is Hard Rock Cafe, on the south side is Rock Bottom on the 2nd Avenue corner, and Acme Feed and Seed on the 1st Avenue corner. And then that goes all the way through 2nd Avenue, which is where Cotton Eye Joe's is on that left hand. It's actually on the corner of Broadway and 2nd North. And then 3rd Avenue is where it cuts off. And 3rd Avenue is right where the FedEx awning is. There's like a FedEx location right on that corner on Broadway and 3rd Avenue North. And then on 3rd Avenue South, there's actually, I don't see how you could drop off there now that I'm thinking about it, because there's actually active construction going on right there. So I don't know. I think that's where Wannabees is, maybe. But anyway, I haven't memorized all the bars, strangely enough, but I have memorized a good deal of them. So anyway, I just wanted to do that tonight. I'm not going to go into the airport and all that stuff right now. To be honest, I'm really not that familiar with the airport. It's not really that complex in my opinion either. I may or may not do that later in the week, or next week rather. But I just wanted to do this tonight because it's crazy. It's really irritating, and especially with a lot of stuff coming up. Stanley Cup playoffs starting next week because the Predators won the President's Trophy. Suck it, Penguins. Anyway, got the President's Trophy, best record in the NHL, so we have home ice advantage throughout the playoffs. What that means for Uber and Lyft drivers is that we now have an extra game in each series all the way through the Stanley Cup Finals if we make it here at home. So that's a great news for Uber and Lyft drivers, because that means that there's a lot more business to be had during the Stanley Cup Finals. And I'm assuming the CMA week is going to be also during the Stanley Cup Finals again this year. I have to look at the calendar and look at that and make sure. And I'm assuming it's going to be in the same area. Maybe they have adjusted, because last year it kind of took them by surprise that the Predators made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. So they had to make some last minute arrangements to get performers in other places and stuff like that. But anyway, if you guys have gotten this email, I just did a screenshot is all I did here. But this is all the pickups and drop-off. There's more in the email, but to me that's the most important thing, is those little areas, those little striped areas, the pink and the purple areas that demark where we can drop off and pick up. Like I said, use this area with extreme caution, because like I said, I got a ticket there just last week, a week ago tonight, and I'm still pretty pissed about it. Obviously, you can understand. The cop was a little bit of a smartass about it too, and that really didn't make it any better. And I'd already got my ticket, so I flat out told him he was being a smartass. And he's like, "No, I'm not trying to be a smartass." Yes, you are. What I said it'd be great if Lyft and Uber and Metro could actually send out information to where we know exactly where we can pick up and drop off. And he said, "Oh, you mean like labeling, like with signs and stuff?" I was like, "Seriously?" I know what that sign says. It says no parking. Does it say no stopping? Does it say no loading, no unloading, etc., etc.? It says no parking. I was not parked. I was stopping for a moment. Matter of fact, my car was still in drive, and the passenger actually got in the vehicle. I was there for 10 seconds. The passenger got in the vehicle before he even finished writing the freaking ticket out. And here's the nice little ticket. Got a little crumpled up. It's hard to read. But he gave me this nice little thing with it too, that explains all the fines. It looks like it's going to be $149.50, which is ridiculous. So, if you want to do not guilty, plead not guilty form is right here in blue. You have to check their plead not guilty, and you'll be notified by mail of your signed court date, responsible for following the progress of your case and verifying that your request was received by the clerk's office within 45 days from the date your ticket was issued. So I've still got quite a few days. It's only been 7 days since my ticket was issued, so I've still got plenty of time for that. So, like I said, just wanted to tell you guys about that. Like I said, it says we can drop off on 4th, right around the corner from Merchants. Don't drop off over by the taxi stands. The taxi people will have an aneurysm, parking, like blowing their horns at you and come up to your windows and stuff and whatever. But so don't go over by Honky Tonk Central and pick up or drop off, because they just have, like I said, they have an aneurysm, coronary, whatever, because they're freaking out. But anyway, I would advise not dropping off there on 4th anymore. In fact, I'm not going to do it anymore until I get some clear guidance, until I've been to court, and have taken it up with the judge, because this is ridiculous. We're being inhibited from doing our job, which is getting people safely home who are inebriated, intoxicated, whatever term you want to use, drunk, whatever. They're keeping these people off the street by giving them a safe ride home that's generally more affordable than taxis, and generally cleaner vehicles, nicer people, etc., etc. I've heard so many complaints about taxis in this city. They are crappy. Not anything about this, but apparently a lot of them don't speak a lot of English very well, so it's hard for them to communicate with their customers. A lot of them will shut off the meter and just like come up with a rate off the top of their head, etc., etc. I've just heard tons and tons of stories, bad stories about taxi drivers in Nashville. So I feel like Lyft and Uber drivers are providing a needed service, a valuable service, and it's something that Nashville is going to need more and more as we continue to grow. So anyway, that's all I have for tonight, guys. Like I said, hopefully if you're a Lyft driver, they have sent this to you. Uber has not sent anything out like this as far as I know. So if you guys want a copy of this email, I'd be glad to forward it to you. Just leave your email address in the comments, or just send me an email at musiccitydriver, all run together, at gmail.com. I know it's kind of a long email address. I probably should have thought more about that before I did that. But anyway, I've already done it. But it's musiccitydriver, all 3 words, no spaces, just run it all together at gmail.com. You can send a request to me or whatever. I can just forward it to you. If you're an Uber driver, it's still helpful. God, excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. But anyway, it may be useful for you too if you're an Uber driver. In my opinion, it will be very useful for any driver. So, like I said, drop off with caution on 4th at Broadway, 4th Avenue South at Broadway. Anyway, if you guys are out driving, please be safe, buckle up, drive safely, and make some money. And until next time, guys, I will have another installment of Money Monday coming up. I'm planning to drive tonight, which is Friday, and tomorrow, which is Saturday. And the final Predators game, home game of this regular season, is tomorrow night against the Columbus Blue Jackets. So that is going to be a crazy night, because there's going to be a huge celebration downtown because the Predators won the President's Trophy last night. They clinched that, and of course clinched the division and the conference, which means they have home ice advantage throughout the playoffs. So go Preds. And if you guys are out driving, like I said, be careful, be cognizant of what you're doing, and be cognizant of where you're dropping off. Do not drop off in the middle of the street. Pull over to the side on these areas that are listed on this map. Try to avoid dropping off or picking up anywhere except for in an area that you can do that. It puts your passengers at risk, and it puts you at risk for a ticket. So with that, I am out of here, and you guys have a great night. If you enjoy this content, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm going to try to do more Nashville related stuff. So I am out for now. You guys have a good one.